It's June 1st, 2020. Lorene, the CIO of Broadbank, is working from home when she receives a call from the bank's CEO, Serge. In-person banking has all but stopped because of the COVID-19 pandemic, says Serge. Because consumers can only open accounts in our branches, we are seeing a sharp decrease in new accounts opened. We are concerned that potential consumers will move to newer fintech platforms. All in-branch activities need to be well served on the bank's online platform as soon as possible. This is already the bank's strategy, but their digital transformation needs to accelerate to meet the challenge of the day. Lorene sets up a video conference with Matt, her head of digital banking product management. She explains the situation the business is in. She asks, how can we deliver the virtual account creation capabilities within a month? Matt and Lorene look at their digital banking investment dashboard to review the status of the project. By correlating investment and work-related data, they are able to accurately predict both the scheduled completion and cost of their projects. The virtual account creation roadmap item isn't scheduled to release for a few months, but Matt agrees to review the work items and data and see if there is a way to release the most valuable capabilities within a month. Matt's organization plans their work in quarterly increments and has made predictability a priority. By bringing together data that measures the actual work of the development teams, Matt is able to see the real daily status of each feature in the release, instead of relying on out-of-date, verbal status reports. He digs into the virtual account creation roadmap item, and through the data he can understand when the capabilities are projected to be ready, what work is already completed, and how efficient the teams are working. He asks himself, I wonder what I can remove from the release. It looks like most of the work for the backend, security, and user interface are in place, but there is still a lot of work to enable a variety of different account types to be opened. Matt determines that if he just focuses on checking accounts initially, he can serve the greatest customer need while also moving up the release by a month or more. Matt invites Gil, the app owner for the digital banking platform, to a video call to discuss how they can release some of the virtual account creation capabilities early. Gil agrees that if they focus on just checking accounts, they can release within a month and still deliver a valuable service to customers. Matt sends Lorene a message with the proposed solution, and she agrees on the approach for reducing the scope. Matt and Gil go to work to trim down the current release for just checking accounts, followed by a second release that includes savings and CD accounts. The new project scope brings the release date much closer to the urgent business requirement. Fast forward a few weeks to a lovely Friday afternoon, and the team is nearly complete with the release. Matt invites Gil to discuss releasing early. Looks like we're done with all the major work items, and the business is anxious for us to release this capability. I know we still have another week on the schedule, but could we push early during Sunday's maintenance window? Gil pulls up the Release Confidence dashboard, which correlates data from their agile management, source code, quality, and deployment tools to determine the readiness of a code release for production. She explains, overall, the team has done a great job, but as you know, we prefer to only ship a release with an A health score. Currently, the release has a B health score because there are signs of risk. My concern from the data is that there's a lot of code churn this week, and the team hasn't had enough time to test everything thoroughly. I wish we had put more priority on our test coverage models and automation early in this release. Matt is under a lot of pressure from the executives and is inclined to accept the risks. Overall, quality is good, and I have seen how well the new SRE team is able to pinpoint issues before they impact customers. Just to be safe, Matt and Gil invite John, the lead site reliability engineer for the digital banking platform, to the video conference. Gil gives John a heads up of what is coming this weekend, and that there are some risks to the release. John said he has been tracking this release in preparation and will be ready in case of issues. Matt, Gil, and John decide to ship the release on Sunday. Fast forward to Monday morning, and John is notified to an issue that is unfolding with the digital banking website. John can immediately see from the service dashboard that the health of the digital banking service has been degraded. AIOps has correlated the related alerts affecting the digital banking service, and from this John can see that performance of the auth account service has degraded, and transactions are stalling and failing. Oftentimes, this is an indication of a resource issue. But other than high CPU on the application container, there is no evidence of a database bottleneck. Looking at the SRE dashboard, which integrates deployment and release information with service KPIs, John confirms that the performance degradation is correlated with the deployment of the new virtual account creation capability last night. Because of this, John gets Gil on video conference to talk through the situation. Gil agrees that the problem is very likely a result of yesterday's release. They look back at the alert details. The recommendation engine suggests performing a JVM restart, which is a common remediation for these symptoms. However, given the test coverage risks they knew about going into the release, John suspects that bugs in the code will continue to disrupt the customer experience. Second on the list of suggested remediations is a release rollback. This option is there in large part to Broadbank's recent Shift Left initiative, where they fully integrated their deployment and operational tool chains. John and Gil decide together that this is how they should proceed. John invites Matt to the call, and he and Gil explain the situation. Although disappointed, Matt agrees it is the right course of action. As a result, the team is able to take the smarter action and roll back the release quickly and painlessly, with only a small number of customers affected. After the rollback, Gil pulls together her engineers to identify the root cause and develop a plan to rapidly fix the issue. The team takes a week to fix the issues, implement the tests, and package up the release for next Sunday's maintenance window. On Friday, Gil pulls up the release confidence dashboard and sees an A score. She sends Matt a message that they are good to go. They release with confidence that weekend, and everything looks great. After the release, the team gets together for a retrospective to discuss what went well, what went wrong, and what they can do differently in the future to improve. They conclude that they shouldn't sacrifice quality for speed when the data points to specific risks, like a lack of test coverage on last-minute code changes. They also agree that given the nature of the issues in production, they should prioritize performance-related test cases and coverage in the future. Matt recognizes that Gil was right when she emphasized the need to work on the test models and automation before the feature push. It would have made it easier for the engineering team to add test coverage quickly, so Matt agrees to review all current plans to help prioritize infrastructure work into the releases better. The next day, the BizOps team debriefs the CIO on the ups and downs that ultimately led to a great outcome and their plan to improve in the future. Matt, Gil, and John agree. Our collaboration has never been better because we are able to rally around the same data. We are much more confident in our decisions and are able to move more quickly. You can tell Serge we are already seeing checking accounts open successfully, and we are excited to release savings and CD accounts in the coming weeks. Lorene is thrilled because she was able to follow the progress of the work all along, since she has access to the same dashboards and data as the rest of the team. The scenario you've just seen is common in today's market. As much as companies try to align their features within a reasonable date and deliver with high quality, sometimes factors beyond their control force a project to be date-driven, especially during unprecedented times. The agility and flexibility with which you can respond to unpredictable scenarios is greatly enhanced when you have the ability to collaborate across silos, making data-driven decisions based on shared insights and a common language. And that is the essence of BizOps from Broadcom.